Nicolás Domínguez is nearly a red. Welcome to your latest Nottingham Forest transfer news. Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are. Whatever time of day you're watching this, hope you're having a fantastic day. And welcome to the dying embers of the transfer window. And this is where things start to get exciting. Coming up in today's video, we're going to be talking to you about Nicolás Domínguez, the player who is pretty much a here we go and is pretty much a red. I'll explain it all in just a second, and he is an exciting player. We'll tell you about a striker, yes, after what we said on the live transfer update yesterday. Forest are linked to a striker who would be really good backup for Taiwo, and we'll talk about a rejected offer on a centre-back with plenty more to come. If you're enjoying the content, if you're keeping up with the content, let me know by hitting that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And remember, tonight, Forest will take on Burnley in the Carabao Cup. We'll be there chatting with you guys on the watch along. Go check out as well this Awoniyi shirt. It's basically this shirt right here with Awoniyi's number and name on the back and his signature from our friends at Football Prizes. You've got till Thursday to get your tickets in for that, and there are not many left. All right, let's jump into the news and let's talk about Domínguez. Okay, guys, so this is a really good deal in principle, and we're talking about Nicolás Domínguez, of course, who is a here we go nearly in a swap deal that will involve Remo Freuler going the other way to Bologna. So the details we have are currently this. He wants to come to Forest. Freuler wants to go to Bologna. In fact, there's talks that he's already agreed a 5-year deal with Nottingham Forest. Where things are just not quite so clear is if this is going to be a direct swap deal, straight up him for Freuler. And I'd be surprised if that happened. It would be brilliant business by Nottingham Forest if they could get this as a straight swap, because he is younger. He's in his mid-20s. Freuler's obviously in his 30s. He's worth more than Freuler. He's probably worth about 15 to 16 million pounds. And Freuler is somewhere between 6 to 8, maybe at a push 10 million. So there's already a differential there. So I'd be very surprised if Bologna decide to go with a straight swap deal. But you never know in football. Once a player's heart is set on going, then usually the clubs tend to begrudgingly or otherwise decide to get the deals over the line. So he should be flying into England today from what we're reading, doing his medical and then signing the 5-year deal. So I do expect all of this to be finished, sorted and sealed by tonight in terms of getting the official here we go on this one. And there'll be no problems as well the other way. As I mentioned, Freuler is more than happy to go to Bologna and back to Serie A. And to be honest, Serie A is probably going to suit him down to a T because he's played there many years with Atalanta, and he's very comfortable in Serie A. So this is a deal that suits all parties. Now, maybe a lot of you haven't seen Domínguez play. What's he like and what's his style? Of course, we'll do a full in-depth video on him, how he'll fit into the team, what he can offer us as well. But let me give you some tasters. Look, if I was to liken him to a player, I'd probably say something like a Verratti from PSG, that style of player. He's very terrier-like. He breaks up play. He loves a long ball over the defensive line, looking for the wingers, especially in the channel. I think predominantly he prefers to be the left side of a midfield 3. He's not an out-and-out CDM for me. I'd describe him more as a holding 8, if that even makes any sense. He's kind of not going to progress too far into the opposition's box, but he will get forward, and he's not going to hold like a 6 would, if that makes any kind of sense. You guys should know me by now, so I hope that does. So he will bring so many good elements to Nottingham Forest. I'm actually really excited about this player. I'm looking at it now thinking, let's forget Ndidi for a minute. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Well, at least I don't want it to happen. If we could put someone like Santos in the 6 And then probably with the players we're bringing in, we're probably looking at a midfield three of Dominguez on one side, Danilo on the other. Maybe some of you would put a Yates in there. Maybe some of you would put a Mangala in there. The point here is the depth of the midfield has just got a whole lot stronger. And it's something we've been crying out for on FFTV all summer. Strengthen that midfield. Most games are won in that midfield battle. If you win that battle, more than likely you're going to go on to win the match. And it should give Cooper options. These are players who are not scared of the ball. These are players who can find a simple A to B pass. And it's starting to me to feel like, and I don't want to get ahead of myself. I usually do in transfer windows, I know. And then I get angry come the next match day. But I just do feel like this is starting to smell like a Premier League team. And I'm liking what I'm seeing. So for me, this is a brilliant signing. And if we do it as a straight swap deal, boy, have Forest done some great business. And we got to take a second to shout out the Greek father. The Greek father just finds a way. All this talk about FFP and balancing the books and everything like that, he just finds a way, doesn't he? And I would say a massive shout out to George Sirianus as well, who's putting all this stuff together. Look how much quicker the transfer window has moved once he was brought back in, with Ross Wilson going at snail pace in comparison. So I'm really, really happy about this. A couple of quick headline stats. I know you guys like it on Dominguez. Let me give you his stats for last year. 29 appearances, 34 appearances, 3 goals for Bologna last season. Passing accuracy in the low 80s, which is not bad at all. He does pick up quite a few yellow cards, got 10 over the season last year, and he averages about 2.5 tackles per game. And I just like him. I like him. And of course, him being South American fits with the narrative we're building currently. He's going to look good in the away kit. He's going to be very friendly with our right back, and he's going to be able to communicate with the likes of Danilo, Felipe, etc. Yes, I know Argentinians speak Spanish and Brazilians speak Portuguese, but it is quite a crossover language. So overall, hugely, hugely excited about this one. I'm really looking forward to getting that deal finally and just giving it there. There is a red line, but it's this close to do it, and I expect it should happen by sometime this evening. But get your thoughts in on him down below. Are you excited for him or not? Let me know. All right, guys, let's move on to our next story. And this one did catch me a little off guard yesterday, because I was thinking in my mind that a striker wouldn't be the priority in this window, because as I explained on the live video yesterday, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. That Forest probably wouldn't look to recruit a striker and use Chris Wood as depth. Now, that still might be the case, but Batman, Michy Batshuayi, is very close to joining Nottingham Forest, if you believe the reports that are circling around. Oh, it's been a long transfer window, guys. Long. Anyway, the fees are looking to be about 5 to 7 million. And he's a player that I do actually like. I got quite excited, if you guys remember, on the live stream about a year ago, pretty much to the day, where this one was being announced that we were going to get him from Chelsea at literally the 11th hour, 10:59 kind of thing. And they were trying desperately to get it over the line. But due to whatever reasons, I believe the issues were from Chelsea's side. They couldn't get the paperwork over quick enough to Nottingham Forest. If I remember rightly, and you guys will correct me in the comments down below, they were looking to terminate his contract as well at Chelsea so he could move on a free. In the end, he ended up going to Fenerbahce in Turkey. And he's had a decent season. He's had a good return on goals, 32 games and 20 goals. Yes, some of you will say, oh, it's the Turkish league, anyone can score there. But still, you can only do, score what's in front of you. Even when he was at Palace and he was struggling a little, he still got about 7 or 8 goals in 27 appearances back in the Premier League. So he can score goals. If he was to have another bad season in the Premier League, scoring 7 goals, that would probably put him in our top 3 highest goal scorers. So this one, I think, is a really good bit of business. Belgium nationality, so there won't be any AFCON issues when Taiwo goes. It means we've got decent cover. He's 29 years old. And at this fee, look, does it hurt a little because we could have had him this time last year and he would have been a year younger and it potentially was free if my memory does serve me correct? Yes, it does. But at 5 to 7 to even 8 or 9 million, it's not a lot to splash out on a striker. And he is prem proven, you know, that famous old saying. So I don't mind this one at all. And it looks like it's getting very, very close to happening. But what do you guys think of him? I'm sure a lot of you will be familiar with him, would have seen him in the Premier League. I like it. I like it. And I think he's good enough. Look, let me put it this way. I think he's good enough to challenge Taiwo and keep Taiwo on his toes, but not good enough to displace him. And that's the little magic formula we need right now. You don't want Taiwo to get complacent in his position up front, but you want someone who's just about there at his heels, ready to push him through and make him work harder. And if God forbid Taiwo were to get injured, then Batman, as his nickname is, would be there to step in. Now, what does it mean for Chris Wood? Well, the honest answer is I ain't got a clue. I'm not even that bothered, to be honest. I don't mind more strength in depth. I think Chris Wood brings a different element when he comes onto the pitch. If we need to play a crossing game, then we've seen Chris Wood with that fantastic header the other week against Sheffield United. I think he is limited in what he can do for the team, but as a impact sub for the last 10, 15 minutes, look, he's done it a couple of times now. And so be it. Yes, I still hate the deal. I think the deal is one of the dumbest deals I've ever seen. 19 million for a 31-year-old. But we've now got elements, different elements that we can attack with. And this is what I'm trying to look at now, is the bigger picture of the squad. Is this squad starting to look more balanced than it was, you know, just a week ago? And in my opinion, yes, it is. I'm still not convinced about Nuno Tavares coming from Arsenal. But hey, I can overlook that one and hopefully he can turn into a Serge Aurier. Yeah, but overall, the squad is starting to look balanced. What I will say is we are still heavily bloated. If you just look at the midfield now, you've got Dominguez coming in. You've got Ryan Yates in there. You've got Santos in there. There's still talks of Ndidi coming in. Still got Lewis O'Brien, Czech Kyoto, Danilo, Mangala. You know, I'm probably forgetting a few, but we're already up to about 8 or 9, and that's just midfielders, and that's not even including any of the kids. So the squad is getting quite bloated. It's really bloated in the fullback / wingback positions, and it still feels a little unbalanced. So yes, in a way, I can understand how Nuno will come in and provide some more balance and cover on that left-hand side. But I still think we may see the likes of Serge Aurier going, and I don't want him to go. But potentially he may make way. And if, as the rumors are true on Serge Aurier, and we could pick up like 25 mil from one of the Saudi teams, then I gotta say, that would be brilliant business. This transfer window for me a week and a half ago was at a 3 or a 4. Yes, the players we brought in, I was very happy and excited with, but I didn't feel we were moving the market quick enough. If all these players who look like they are coming, and this is no longer like the start of the window, this is the business end of it. When you start getting these links usually are quite serious. But if these players do come in and come over the line, then this transfer window for me has moved to at least a 7 out of 10. But let me ask you guys that question. Where do you rate the current transfer window for Nottingham Forest? Let me know out of 10, your number down below. But Batshuayi, keep an eye on this. This as well should be happening quite quickly. Okay, let's move on to our third story, and that's on a centre-back who has had a bid rejected from Nottingham Forest. Now, these sources aren't huge, but let's talk him through anyway, because this is the fun part of the transfer window, and that's David Garcia from Osasuna, the 29-year-old centre-back. Apparently has had a bid, well, Osasuna have rejected a bid from Nottingham Forest, and they have told Forest that if you want him, you got to pay his release fee clause. Now, the question is, what was the bid from Forest? I don't know. I haven't been able to find that information out. But what we do know is that his release fee clause is 20 million euros, about what, 17 to 18 million pounds. Now, he is 29. He played 39 times for them last year, scored 3 goals as well. But his release fee clause is his actual valuation on the market. So Forest are going to have to try and find themselves, you know, doing a really good deal to get this one over the line. I don't know if I believe it though. I don't. The profile of him, 29. It may be a bit of a knee-jerk reaction to some of the injuries we've had. We've seen McKenna out. Is Felipe back fully fit? He's been training this week, so hopefully he's back. But long-term, is Felipe going to be able to cut it for 35 or so more games this season, plus cup games, etc.? I don't know. So what I take from this is that if there is any truth in it, then at least Forest are still looking in the market for potentially another centre-back. And I do think we need another one. Yes, Murillo is coming in and looks absolutely fantastic. But will he be chucked straight in? We don't know. So bringing in someone like David Garcia, who has experience and is a good centre-back, may be the kind of character we need coming in. But watch this space and we'll keep you posted on it over the next few days. Okay, so that brings you up to date with this early edition of the transfer news. I guarantee you more stuff is going to break over the next, well, few hours at the very least. And of course, we will be here to bring you all that news. And, you know, expect another video is probably what I'm saying to you guys in the next few hours. But the best way to know that you won't miss it is firstly hit that like button if you haven't already. Make sure you're subscribed to Forest Fan TV. And this bell here is extremely important to you guys over the next 2 to 3 days, because that will alert you as soon as the news breaks and we put a video out for you. So make sure you have that bell on for all the notifications. Thank you guys so much for watching. Get your thoughts in on those 3 key stories and let me know what you think of those players. We'll see you no doubt in a couple of hours on the next transfer video. And don't forget to watch along tonight as well. It's going to be a busy week. Come on, you Reds.